Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Health Matters. For this week's discussion, we are going to be talking about health conditions like piles and fissures. For the same, we have with us Dr. Rajesh Yadav, who is going to help us know a little more about these conditions. So, without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the discussion. Hello, Dr. Rajesh, and thank you for coming to Health Matters and giving us your precious time. Without wasting any more time, I will jump right into the discussion and ask my first question, which is what are piles and how do we actually diagnose it?
Uh, Piles are basically veins which are there in the anal canal. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions about piles. A lot of people feel that if they develop any pain in the perianal region, that is where we pass our motions, that anal canal, and that they label themselves as that they have piles, which is not the case. Piles are basically veins which are there in the anal canal. Now, veins are there everywhere in your body, in your arms, forearms, legs, everywhere. Now, when these veins become big in size, when the size increases, then the grade starts. Like if the size is about a millimeter or so, and they go about 3 millimeters, then it is grade 1. If it goes to 5 to 7 millimeters, grade 2. Bigger than that, grade 3. So it's as the size increases. Now, why does the vein size increases? Is basically because of straining. So that is what piles is. So people feel that piles is any pain, but no, no, no. Piles are painless, and only complaint which a patient have in piles is bleeding. So the bleeding is also peculiar. It's when you sit for motions, there will be flash of blood on the commode. So there will be drops of blood and flash. Sometimes it's like a fountain. And when your motions are done, it stops immediately. It will not continue bleeding once the motions are stopped. So that's what people have to understand, that piles are painless, one thing, and two, they are veins. They are nothing extra which comes in your body or some extra skin growth or something. They are just veins which are normal. They just increase in size because of certain factors which I'll be talking.
Right. So that actually brings me to the next question. That is, what actually causes piles and how can one manage it?
Yeah, now the causes are multifactorial. There wouldn't be one cause which we can label. Now, the main cause probably is straining. Straining in the sense people set for motions for longer duration of time. Now, here I would like to tell you about the normal motion habits. So, by definition, if you pass 3 motions in a week, that is alternate day, and if you don't strain, that means you don't sit for longer time, that is not more than 2 to 3 minutes, is considered normal. And if you have 2 to 3 motions per day, and if you are not straining, that means again not sitting for more than 2 3 minutes, and they are formed, then that is also normal. So people have these misconceptions, and they feel that they have not passed motions today in the morning, so their whole day goes unwell. So these are the people who tend to strain, who go up in the bathroom and sit for 15 minutes and try to evacuate at one time. That's what their concept is. I have to go to the office, so how do I do it? So that's one thing. Secondly, people have chronic constipations. Constipations are basically because of certain food habits. You have a lot of proteins in your diet, you take a lot of junk food, and when the fiber content, that is vegetables and salads, are less in your food, plus the water intake, if that is again less in your food, these are the two contributory factors which leads to the stools which are formed to move slowly in your large intestine, and that's why people don't evacuate. No, normally the stools get harder because of less water and more less fiber. And these are the one of the other causes is constipation. Now once you constipate, then there's a habit of sitting for longer duration of time for motion. So basically, one thing we have to understand, anything which will lead to increase in utilization of that area, So whether it is training for motion for long duration of time, or sometimes people have diarrhea, that is utilizing of that area for more than 5 to 6 times in a day. So in these two factors, so once as if I hold this arm tightly for even 2 minutes, the veins dilate, and that's why how we cannulate the veins for any procedure. So same thing happens there. So if you strain, the veins are going to become big, and this training if continues over a period of 2 years, 3 years, then the veins become big, and anything which becomes big, the wall is going to become thinned out. So when that thins out, it breaks and it bleeds. So that is how the piles training. So I'll give you a good example of four-legged animals. Like if you have seen a dog passing motion, or if you have seen any cow passing motion, they will never strain. They just pass motion within 2 3 minutes and it's over. It's only humans. Humans have this brains, and then they try to utilize their brain, saying that I have to pass motion at this particular time, it has to come out, otherwise my day goes bad. So all these things, so constipation, a bad habit, sitting in motions for a long time. Some people have a habit of reading a newspaper and keep training. Some people use mobiles and read something, so they feel that if they're sitting for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's good. No, this is what contributes to piles. Has nothing to, people feel that eating non-veg or eating a lot of pork or eating a lot of non-veg food can lead to piles. No, 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 that's again a misconception. Then all the people over the world who eat purely non-veg would have developed piles. There's nothing like that. So eating non-veg or eating spicy food will cause you piles? No. In fact, eating those food with less of salad can lead to constipation, and that would probably lead to piles. But basically, eating non-veg doesn't cause you piles. Eating a lot of hot food will not cause you piles. It is just training. If you break that habit of training, if you pass motions when you have good pressure, so it's not necessarily that you have to get motions at 8 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. No, you can pass motion whenever you get that pressure. Go aram se evacuate within 3 to 4 minutes, come back, then that's what the normal stool passing is. So that's the basic common reasons. There are no big science or no big things to discuss on this. You just don't have to strain. If you don't strain, you will not have piles. Yes. And regarding you asked about management. Now, managements are a lot of things are there for managing your hemorrhoids. Now, there's a lot, to start with, to begin with, as I said, you have to stop straining. So you have to basically improve your habits about motions. So you have to train your brain. Even if I get motions twice a day or even once a day, it's fine. I shouldn't be straining for more than 2 to 3 minutes. I should wait for the pressure to come. It's not necessarily that I have to get motions when I'm at back home. It's okay if you go to motions in your office also, or wherever it is available. I know in India it's difficult to get bathroom, but I think it's fair enough because most of the offices and all those people have it. So one thing is that you just have to train your brain. This is nothing which is a compulsion. Because a simple example, when you want to urinate, do you go and strain anytime that I want to urinate now, I want to urinate? No, you get pressure, you pass urine. Okay, you don't do that. So same thing with motion. So that's very, very important part, is that if you have a good motion habits, then probably that's the pure reason that you won't develop piles. Of course, now once you have the piles, now how do you manage that? Now the whole idea again is that you are not supposed to strain once you have piles, because if you sit again for long duration of time, the veins are exposed, and since the veins have become big now, as I say, because of training, the vein size increases. And when the vein size increasing, obviously if you sit for a long time and keep forcing yourself, the veins break and they bleed. So obviously anything which will improve your motions timing is going to help you in treating piles. So obviously you have to take a lot of fibers. So a lot of fibers will help you to get a bulk of stools, and which will be able to evacuate faster. Then secondly, a lot of water. Water helps you to keep your stools soft, and evacuation is easier. So that's the second thing. So fibers, a lot of water in your food. Okay. Then of course there are a lot of medications which are available. Like the best medications which would be is Isabgol. Isabgol is nothing but a powdered form. It's a vegetable powder which is made up of, sometimes it's isabgol. So it's basically more of a bulk in the stool. So if you have to take any on-the-counter medication, so that is the best thing to take, is to take isabgol. That will increase your bulk of the stool and make stools well formed. So basically, it rotates around not straining. So anything which will help you to not strain for motions is good. So any particular food you should avoid? I don't think so. There's nothing, no for any food, because piles have not related with your what food you are taking, whether it is a vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food, or whether you take a now whatever food which is available now. There are various forms which people are eating, but it has nothing to do with food. Yes, yeah. So that's how I would probably, now medical point of view, if you ask, I think it's better to consult a doctor if you want to take medications for this piles. But the basic funda behind treating piles is that you shouldn't be straining for long. Okay, if you don't strain, and if your habits are good, once, even if you develop piles initially and then you develop your habits better, the veins which have increased in size will go and decrease, they will regress, because you are not straining anymore, and that will prevent the bleeding from occurring. Okay, yeah.
Right, and I'm sure there are many misconceptions which are associated with piles as well. So, what are the most common misconceptions that your patients associate with piles?
Yeah, the commonest misconceptions is that people feel that if they all, it's because of their diet, which I just told you. So they feel that since I eat spicy food, I have developed piles, or since I have eaten mutton chicken yesterday, or I have eaten outside, so that's why I have this piles. One. Second misconception, as I begin when my talk, is the pain. So people feel that any pain in that area is piles. It's not. It's never. So piles are not related with pains at all, as I told you. Piles are just bleeding, that you will never have piles where there would be pain. The only condition when piles would pain is when there is a clot in that particular vein. So that becomes hard, then that vein becomes hard, and then you can have pain. So that's the only condition where it would be pain, otherwise it would not pain. So that's what people feel, that it is related with food. If any pain there is piles, it's no. And a lot of family physicians, a lot of surgeons, doctors even treat, they don't even examine that area, and they just give medications just because people are shy to show that area. One, and of course people are not really comfortable sharing, because it's a private part, I understand, but they just describe that I passed motion, there's pain, so doctor feels, oh, it's piles. It's not. So that misconception has to be, really removed from people's mind. Yep.
Right. So then, what is fissure, and how do you diagnose the fissure then?
Yeah, good question. And as I rightly spoken, now fissures are basically cuts, cuts in the anal canal area. So the area where you pass motion, there are small cuts which you develop, and these are fissures. And fissures are very painful. So the first thing what a patient would complain is, while he is passing motion, it is paining a lot. A lot of people are even scared of passing motion, because they pass motion, it will pain. So now simple example to even, so if you have a cuts at the angle of your mouth, even if you touch water there, it pains at times. Forget the food. So because there are wound there, the same thing happens. The wound is there in the area, perianal region. These are two weaker areas, that is 6 o'clock of anal canal and 12 o'clock. There would be a small wound. Now, why this wound comes up? Of course, because of the very hard and bulky stools. If your stools are bulky and hard, that area doesn't open up completely, because it has its own capacity. You cannot have a bigger capacity, and then it tears. So chronic constipation and hard stools lead to tear or cut in the anal canal, and that is what is fissure is. And fissure is the only condition which is painful. So most of the patients who develop pain are because of fissures, not because of piles. So that is what is fissure is all about. It's just simple answer to that is small cuts in that area are fissures. Yeah.
So then, how do you actually manage fissure?
So It's very simple. Fishers, again, I said there are home remedies and what you can do back at home, and medical line of treatment, of course, is there. Now, home remedies are again a good fiber content in your diet. Lots of water. Probably your water content has to be more, and avoiding spicy food here, because remind you there are wounds there. So if you eat spicy food and you feel hot in your mouth, the same, because if you understand the food what we eat, why our tropical countries eat, are contain a lot of spices. Now there's a science behind this, why we have spices in our food. So if you see, if you go north way, like towards Russia and all those places, their spices are less, because in cold climate you as it is are very hungry, so you eat anything what is available. It's only in the hot climate that you have to develop taste, you have to increase the appetite by putting spices in the food. So all the spices what you put in your food, they never get digested. So simple example is that if you take uh, uh, the mirchi, what we call it regularly, you have those seeds of those mirchi, and those seeds will never digest. So whatever seeds are there will come to your stools also. So they are like that. So similarly, the masalas, what they never get digested. So whatever spicy food you eat, and that is accompanied in the stools, so that gives a lot of burning sensation in that. So one thing is you have to have a lot of water, avoid spicy food, see to it their stools are soft so that it doesn't become hard. Moment it becomes hard, it's going to tear their fissure again. So once that happens, it will keep paining. So normally, if your stools are normal for 2-3 days, the fissure will heal on its time, because within 24 hours a new skin comes and it develops, it heals that area. So 24 to 48 hours, if you have good motions after fissures, then it will heal automatically. Otherwise, you will have to take some medical help where they use which reduces the muscle there help in this. So those, of course, you have to consult a surgeon for particular reasons. But 90% of the time, it is taken care by medical line of treatment. And the basic thing is again a soft stools, a lot of water, fiber, so that your stools are not hard. If that thing happens, the fish will be healed automatically. There's no specific medications other than local ointments which need to reduce the pressure of the anal canal. And of course, last resort is surgery, which is in probably 10% of patients, where we reduce the sphincter pressures by doing lasers or even by microcauteries and plates. So basically, that's called as lateral sphincterotomy, which I really don't want to discuss on this platform. But yes, only few 10% would require surgical intervention, but otherwise, simple change in your diets will let your fissures heal. Now, one more thing I want to add: when there are fissures and which keeps on going for long duration of time, the cuts which are there and they don't heal, so body keeps on producing new skin there, because body is a thing which will recover on its own. So that skin keeps on increasing in size, and then that area you'll have a skin tag. Now that is called as a sentinel pile. Now people label this as piles. This is not piles. This is because of fissure. You have developed an extra skin there because of repeated cuts. New skin keeps on coming, and you develop those tags which you, when you clean your anal canal after motions, you will feel those skin tags. Now, a lot of people label this as piles, or a lot of doctors probably would label this as piles, but these are not piles. As I told you, piles are veins; they are never skin tags. So, this basic thing you have to understand. So, you'll have a skin tag with fissures, and with piles, as I said, they are just painless. So, yeah.
Right. So then, are there any misconceptions which are associated with fissures as well?
Yeah, there are a lot of misconception with both piles and fissures. Piles, which we have already discussed. Now, fissures, because they are so painful, at times people feel that he is this going to get into malignancy or cancer or something. No, 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 never, never. So no piles, no fissure, or no fistula. These are the three problems which occurs in the perianal regions. None of this, even if they are there for 3 years, 4 years down the line, will get into cancer. Never. They never get into cancer. So piles, fissures, and fistulas, they will never get into cancer, which people are always worried about. No. So the only reason, what I would say is that sometimes, you have bleeding which is mixed with stools. It's mixed with stools, and then people believe that when it is mixed with stools, they still feel that it is piles. No, then it's a matter of concern. So if your bleeding is just fresh, red, and on the commode, then it is piles. But if it is mixed with stools, that means the bleeding has occurred somewhere higher up in the large intestines, and which really needs to be evaluated. So you need to consult a proper doctor, a surgeon, or a gastroenterologist for that. So if it's a fresh birth, it's piles. It's painful area in that region, it's fissure. And of course, fistula, we are not talking today. It's a discharge. You have pus discharge, and that's fistula. But none of these conditions, even if they stay for 12 years or 15 years, will get into malignancy, which people are more concerned. So that's a basic misconception which I want to say. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much for your insight. And I want to know, as an expert, what are your tips on managing both these conditions?
So, as an expert, I would say ki first is that don't be so obsessed about your motions. So, whenever you get that foot pressure and whichever place is available, you should do it. Don't have ideas that this is the time where I should get motions. So that thing have to be very very clear in your mind. Secondly, as I gave you an example, none of the animals you will see straining. So it's just because we are humans, we try to utilize our brains and say, oh, I have to remove all this dirt, otherwise things would remain back and I will not be healthy. So that's misconception. Again, that has to be out. Have good healthy diet, whatever diet you have, whether it is a vegetarian diet, non-vegetarian diet, because it all depends upon our caste. Basically, Muslims would have pure non-veg, Christians would have pure non-veg, Hindus also have non-veg, veg, whatever. So good healthy diet, which should be balanced. So basically you should have a fiber like vegetables, salads, proteins, and carbohydrates. So it should be a good mixture diet. I basically feel everybody back home would have the diet which has been set over the ages. There's a real science behind it. Like if I give you a simple example, like even a Hindu diet would have carbohydrates like rice, dal is their proteins, chapatis are proteins, and this thing, and vegetables are fibers. So all have these components which are fixed. So have good healthy diet back home. Even if you tend to eat outside, see that it's a balanced diet, not just excess of proteins or excess of carbohydrates. Drink a lot of water. And important thing, don't strain. If you don't strain, you'll never develop piles or fissures. Of course, fissures, again, as I said, is because of hard stools. So plenty of water should take care. So that's a basic thing, very simple. A lot of Ayurvedic medications are available to pass your motions. A lot of this thing. Don't buy anything on the counter and abuse them. You become addicted to it. I've seen patients here using a lot of Ayurvedic toner for years, and if they don't have it, then they are in trouble. So basically, you're just making something habitual. It's like cigarette smoking or anything. It's another habit which you are putting to. Avoid those. Just have simple diet, lot of water. Few misconceptions that if I don't pass motions and something will happen, my body will not be good. These are all wrong misconceptions. That's why in the beginning I had given that definition that 3 motions in a week are fine if you are not straining, and 2 to 3 motions in a day are fine if you are not straining. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. It was lovely talking to you, and getting such useful insight from an expert like yours really helps us at Health Sarthi in providing authentic and reliable information to our audience. And I'm sure that everybody who's watching over here has a better idea of what piles and fissures are, and they have a better idea of what to eat and what not to eat. So, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thanks for giving me this opportunity here, and I will be very honored and feeling good. So, hope to see you all again at Health Sarthi. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Guys, if you enjoyed the discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, turn on the bell notifications and comment down any questions related to health and wellness, and we will try to answer it in our next episode.